Good morning. Um, I'm tired, y'all. I just want to talk for a minute. I'm sitting outside the gym trying to get motivation to go inside, and I'm just tired. Like, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. I am freaking drained. Um, I hadn't been to the gym in a week and a half because my mental health has been suffering, and it's been a battle. However, if I know I go in the gym, it'll help. But it's just the getting in there part. Instead of me controlling life or, running my own life, I've let life control me. I've let my emotions, my mental health get the best of me. And I am just tired. For those of you that don't know, I live along with my wife in the house with the rest of my family. We came upon some financial hardships and had to move back home. So, being in the house with my family, my wife and I are not allowed to live as wives. My family is very conservative, very religious, and they believe that me being married to a woman is a sin. I don't feel that way, but I try to respect the rules because I'm thankful for them allowing us to stay there. Me and my wife are working, trying to save money so we can get our own place. But anybody who's ever tried to rent somewhere, it's not just going in and paying rent. You have to pay a deposit. You have to pay for deposits for utilities, moving fees. Just it takes a lot of money to move. And it's crazy that they make it so hard, and not to mention that there's not a lot of cheaper places to live that are worth living in. The places I've looked around our area, the more affordable places, all have bad reviews saying landlords are horrible, maintenance is horrible, and it's, from what I gather, it's just not good places to live. And so it's a struggle. But I'm not on here to try to get pity. I'm just talking because I feel like my mental health is suffering, partly because I feel like I'm 13 years old again and trapped in the closet. For anyone who is in the LGBTQ plus community, you understand what I'm saying. For anyone who's not, imagine being somewhere and you're not allowed to hold hands with your significant other. You're not allowed to sleep in the same bed as them. You're not allowed to show any affection outside of maybe friendship. And while my wife is my best friend, she's my wife. And it's really triggering to me. And I don't use that word lightly, but growing up, it was like, if you're gay, you're going to hell. That's all I heard. Homosexuality is a sin, and it was hellfire and brimstone. I grew up in a very conservative Pentecostal religious home and church. So it's put me back in that emotional and mental space of being a child, and all that is coming back to me, and it's really getting to me. I've lost motivation for a lot of things. Like I said, I hadn't been to the gym in a week and a half. My eating habits, I have fallen into old eating habits, And I know it's not good for me on this journey that I'm on, but I'm struggling. I am really struggling. I know change can't happen overnight, but I wish it could, because I wish tomorrow my wife and I were moving into our own place so we could at least lay in the bed together and just be wives. And it's not about the physical, but it's just about that intimacy, but it's just a struggle, and my mental health is really struggling, and I'm choking back tears right now because I'm just it's really a struggle. But like I said, my wife and I are both working, and you try to save money, but at the same time you have bills to pay, you have groceries to buy. It's hard to save money, and we don't work at high paying jobs. The pay is decent, but it's probably still considered poverty level, especially in the day and age we live in, when prices of everything are skyrocketing. It's just a struggle. So I'm looking for support. I'm looking for people who maybe understand where I'm coming from. I'm looking for people who I can build a community around. Because those of you who grew up in a Christian home, going to church every week, sometimes 3 and 4 times a week, you understand what I'm talking about. Whenever I left the church, I lost my community. And that's another thing that's taken a toll on me, is outside of my wife, I don't have friends. I don't have that community. And I'm looking for a church, because I still am a Jesus follower, regardless of what people think about my lifestyle. I am a Jesus follower, and I'm trying my best to find a community in a church. There's different ideas that were tossed around in therapy yesterday for me, as far as me and my wife finding community that would support us and love us and allow us to be ourselves. But until then, it's just a struggle. It really is hard, and I don't talk about it a lot because I don't want it to be seen as pity or anything like that. But when I started this channel, it was to be transparent about this health journey that I'm on. And I've said from the beginning, it's not just about my physical health, but my mental and spiritual health. And right now, all 3 are struggling. All 3 have fallen by the wayside. Everything's been pushed to the back burner, and the struggle is definitely real right now. But I'm gonna get up out of this car and go into the gym, because I'm hoping that even if it's just walking on the treadmill, that it'll boost my energy, that it'll boost my confidence, that it'll boost my mental health, and just help me through this struggle and give me some strength for this struggle, because it's going to be a struggle until my wife and I are able to have our own place. That's just how it is. It's going to be a struggle. And although I'm very tired and I feel run down and run over, I've got to do this. I can't quit. I have goals. I have dreams. And if I quit now, I'm never going to see it. If I quit now, we'll be stuck in this situation for the rest of our lives. So I can't quit. I got to keep going. And if you're out there and you understand, or you're an ally, or whatever the case may be, and you have some words of motivation, I'm here for it. So until next time.